Good afternoon and welcome to the Retail Jeweler YouTube channel. We have with us the very, very eminent Mr. Somasundaram, who is the Regional CEO of World Gold Council India. And we are here to speak to him about 2021 results and what's in store for 2022 for gold. Thank you, Som, for joining us. So the first question is, what do you think gold demand has seen an upward trend despite the pandemic and the price rise? And what are the factors do you think that has influenced this?
Well, primary factor, Samit, that we saw in 2021 is that the demand had long been very muted because of the lockdowns and the businesses not up and running, social functions getting deferred, etc. So this demand actually, you saw that completely being executed in the fourth quarter, primarily. So that is why you saw a fourth quarter, which was one of the highest in our data series ever since we started collecting the data. So 343 tons was one of the biggest quarters. And so that was one primary reason. The second reason was the softness in price. Of course, we saw the price is higher as compared with 2019, early part of 2019. But what happened was it just went up to the levels of 55,000, came down to 48, 49, which was seen as a very good price. So the slight softness in price also helped in the entire thing. And the third and the more important thing is consumer sentiment just became very, very positive with all the vaccination programs and the fact that we have been able to do vaccination on probably the very grand scale in the globe. So all these added to the sentiment. So a combination of these three really resulted in what we saw, 343 tons.
We hope that we repeat it and do have a much better year as well. A lot of retailers, especially from the Indian side or Indian subcontinent, you can say, because people really felt that after a long time, World Gold Council did a major generic campaign, the You Are Gold campaign last year, which had a big impact in the entire, the Indian gold jewelry sales, especially. And they felt that, gold has actually moved up in terms of market share as well. Like if it was 82%, it has moved to maybe closer to 90% in 2021 because of this campaign. Although it was not a campaign for all gold categories, but it pushed gold as a category. And it brought in a big sense of movement, in the gold business, and especially the millennials got very attracted to the category. Secondly, you also initiated a new campaign called RJIP, which is also very well appreciated by the trade, and I think it will also move now in 2022 very well. So, do you think these two campaigns will continue now for this year again? And how much of it has an influence in the market?
Absolutely. Samit, you made it right. I think the You Are Gold campaign was very, very evocative. It was well received by the trade. We did a lot of outreach programs. And clearly in partnership with GJEPC, we reached out to the consumers as well, primarily through digital and TV. So that was, and I'm glad that the trade thinks that a large part of the demand rise can be attributed to this. That's the way it should be. Good timing, good campaign. So no doubt the results were great. We're happy about it. To your specific question, are we going to continue? Yes, we are going to continue. We are probably going to continue at twice the kind of momentum we saw in 2021. So that is about the You Are Gold campaign. Now coming back to the next one you spoke about, the Retail Gold Investment Principles, or RGIP, which we have branded in India as Swarna Adarsh Abhiyan. Clearly, that is to bring the industry together and enhance the image of the industry. So industry is doing a lot of good work. I mean, last year, Indians have invested close to $57 billion. I mean, 48, 49 is the LBMA, but you just say you add the taxes and you add the charges, it'll be something above $57 billion. That's the kind of money that is being saved through gold. Last year, we developed a set of code of conduct for different categories like jewelers, manufacturers, bullion traders, etc. 6 categories. And we started the awareness campaign amongst the trade. This year, definitely we are going to continue. Again, the momentum will improve. The way we are looking at it is not going to be run by us. It is an industry initiative. It has to enhance the image of the industry with the regulators, with the policymakers, with the consumers. Trust is one of the important factors at these price levels. So we are going to look at forming a self-regulatory organization in consultation with the industry. It's time that the industry comes together and regulates itself rather than all the time reacting to legislative measures. Discussed with this committee, all the industry associations were there, and it was agreed that yes, it will be a good idea to have an SRO. We are working, and perhaps 2022 will see the SRO a reality.
Excellent. So very nice. That's so good to hear, Som. That's much needed, and I think it will be a good start for 2022 to have it as soon as possible. Because just to give you a little bit feedback, also a lot of retailers would like to use some of the elements, of these the RGIP and the Swarn Adarsh program. They were also asking us to ask you if you could do some modules like this, short modules online maybe, for training the staff on how should they talk about this.
We are doing it. Thanks, Samit, for that. Absolutely. I have picked up some of the points from what you said, but we have been thinking about this outreach program again to make small jewelers, small manufacturers aware of the benefits to them.
Yes.
Definitely will have an outreach program in many cities.
Excellent. Great. So we'll carry this message to all the retailers and we're very happy to know this. And finally, what is the future of gold? The question which everybody asks at the beginning of every year, but more 2022 and also the forecast till 2025. What is your vision for gold in India?
Well, 2025, I wish we could say what are the things about gold. Yes. So 2022, a couple of factors. One is how is the price going to behave? How is the monsoon going to be specific to India? And how is the rupee dollar going to behave in the light of all the rate increases in the US? In India specifically, urban markets have led this huge recovery in quarter 4, December quarter. From our analysis, what we understand is that the rural markets haven't performed at the same levels. So it's quite possible, therefore, you will see a revival of the rural markets in 2022. So if you really look at 2025, therefore, you will see that, with the kind of economic growth India is seeing, fast growth, lot more families will come into the middle class. So once they come into the middle class, their savings will increase, and we will continue to see part of the savings flowing into gold. Therefore, it is a very positive thing on Indian gold demand. Now, in what form they buy, if they buy in jewelry, bullion, EGRs, we have to work through all that because there are lots of things happening in the industry, all good stuff, but we need to see. It will not be, maybe not only the kind of jewelry that we see, it will also be bullion, it will be EGR, it will be more financial investments, ETFs, all that thing will come into the picture. I'll give you 2 figures and then I'll give you the forecast. If you look at 2011 to 2015, the 5 years prior to demonetization, the average demand was 910 tons.
Okay.
If you look at 2016 to 2019, I'm removing 2020 because it's an odd year of 440 because of COVID. You take an average that is 720 tons. Now, what happened between 2016 and 2019 is you had GST, excise duties and GST.
Yes.
You had the PAN card rule, you had, the demonetization. So a lot of what I would say compliance improvement and overall tax compliance in the country improved. That actually, if you see, it shaved off the industry's demand by nearly 180 tons. What we have seen in 2022, all of these have got adapted by the industry, or they have got adopted by the industry.
Yes,
and you have seen demand has gone up to 800 tons in 2021. We believe, therefore, from 900 all the regulations brought it down, compliance brought it down to 720, which showed the vulnerability of the industry. But now it has gone up to 800. So our view is 2022, other things remaining the same, I mean, on prices, etc., within range bound, it will be now going back to the average of 800 to 850. That is how I would leave the forecast.
Very nice. That's very well explained. Thank you very much for that. So thank you very much for your time today. Soman, I have to also give you a message, and maybe you could also give a message to all the retailers. And they have asked me to tell you that, you and your team, Aarti, Rakhi, and everybody else in your office are doing a fabulous job. One of the retailers said they are doing a stellar job. Tell them that it's an outstanding team and outstanding initiatives, both of them, which you did last year. And they wanted to continue. And I'm very happy that you said that it will be with twice the effort and twice the resources. Thanks a lot. That was very, very well said. Thank you very much, Tom. Thanks. And thanks.